Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Steve Ruthoff with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. This morning at approximately 9:20 a.m., the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office received a 911 call with the 911 advisor advising that he had just heard a gunshot and a woman screaming from 2155 Monteau Drive. Upon patrol's arrival, they made contact with a white female who advised her husband had just been shot. Officers found a white male, 49 years old, lying inside the residence who had apparent gunshot wound to his body and was unresponsive. JFRD arrived on the scene and pronounced the victim deceased. Initial investigation reveals that the victim was just getting home and was bringing in some packages when he was shot. The wife who was with the victim heard the gunshot and she started screaming for help. A canvass of the area produced one witness who advised that they saw an unknown white male running from the area. At this time, we are not sure if this individual is involved in the shooting or not. However, what we do ask is anyone in the area to please contact the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office if you have any information in this case and/or call Crime Stoppers.
Does it appear to be a robbery?
At this point, it's too early to tell. We are canvassing the area, hopefully looking for any type of video and/or additional witnesses. The victim's wife was with him. She entered into the residence just before him, so at which point she heard the gunshot. So the suspect possibly came up behind the victim, and she did not see the individual who did the shooting. There was nothing demanded, nothing taken that we know of at this point. So we're unsure if it was a potential setup for a robbery or if this is due to another type of situation. So that's why we're out there. We don't know if this is just random or if this is a person that may be known to the victim.
And the wife, she heard the shots. Did she hear any arguing or any exchange verbally before the shot rang out?
At this point, the initial information that we've been able to get from her is that she just heard the gunshot. She started screaming and calling out for help. And that's when one of the neighbors heard the screams and the gunshot and was the 911 caller. At this point, she did not see anyone. So that's why we're hoping for additional witnesses and or video in the area to help us capture anybody that could have been leaving the residence. And again, this is just under the initial stage of the investigation, so we have a lot to look into. And of course, we'll be speaking to the wife and any other family members in reference to this individual.
He was bringing in packages. Is there, you know, the origin of the packages?
It was food.
Food.
Yeah.
Have there been any calls of this resident?
Not to my knowledge that there's been any previous calls for service. Definitely none for violence. So at this point, again, we are looking for a suspect who is possibly seen running from the area. We do have a white male, no other description given. They weren't able to give an age range or any description of that individual except for that it was a white male. So during the canvass that patrol and the detectives are doing, hopefully we do obtain some type of surveillance video in the area.
And she saw the...
She physically did not see this individual. She heard a gunshot and started screaming. She saw the victim fall to the ground inside the house.
Was there anybody else in the house, children, anything?
They do have a son who was inside the residence who was sleeping at the time.
And your name for the record?
Yeah, it's Sergeant Steve Ruthoff. Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thanks a lot.
He's so soft-spoken.
We'll figure that. All of a sudden, super bright.